Some people think football is a matter of life and death. I can assure you, it's much more serious than that.
What?
It's about identifying with it different, but actually making a difference as well.
And football as a means of anti-fascist political activism, but also football as a means of community.
We are trying to show that there is another way of doing football, that it is possible to have values, to have ideals, and for them to be as important as winning on the pitch.
I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and I've seen firsthand how commercialization has affected the game at my club. But this isn't just about Tottenham, this is about football as a whole. Today, football is as much about profits and sponsorships as it is about the game itself. The sport that was once a symbol of community and camaraderie has become a multi-billion-pound industry. In this documentary, we'll hear from fans from Germany and England who are fighting to protect the soul of the game they love and who are advocating for a simpler, more fan-oriented version of football.
I think everyone who's a football fan or active football fan is a bit disillusioned with game at the highest level, because over time they've seen their role as a stakeholder in football be diminished, right? When it was initially just the currency was, the football club was funded on the people who went to the ground, and yes, maybe a bit of TV revenue was involved. It was the community that was directly impacted by the club's results, on a day-to-day basis, that were the ones who really ran it, and there was kind of a reciprocal relationship there. And I think now more and more, you've got just a few clubs at the highest level who are funded as global brands, and they've really kind of lost the connection between community and football.
Here in Islington, in North London, a group of disillusioned football fans decided to follow a second division German team in Hamburg called St Pauli. They gather here each week to watch the games together, drink beers, and toast to a different version of football. They chose St Pauli as for them it was a direct alternative to modern football. Despite never winning a trophy or having any major footballing success, St Pauli is known around the world for its progressive and left-wing values.
For me, it's about identifying with it different, but actually making a difference as well. So challenging homophobia, challenging racism, challenging sexism, and that's important. It's not just the fact that we want to be identified with these things, but actually be part of it and be part of changing culture within football.
Living by their values is key for London St Pauli, so at each game, money is collected for causes important to the group.
We do our best in the St Pauli Way, and tonight, please...
As part of London St Pauli now, we support because we're in Islington, we support the Islington Food Bank. So we've raised probably close on £1,200 this season for the food bank. We're giving it to the local community. We're raising stuff for the Viva Con Agua, which is the St Pauli water project, which is kind of based out of the club as well. So kind of want to do more to be inclusive within that and say actually, the principles of the club are the principles of the fan club as well.
The atmosphere in the pub attempts to be as close as possible to a St Pauli match day, and at half time they sing along to an anti-fascist song by punk rock band Ethos. That is echoed across the Millentor. The St Pauli phenomenon is a global one, but it started here, in this working class district of Hamburg. Here on the terraces at the Millentor, St Pauli Stadium, left-wing values are proudly and prominently displayed anywhere you look, which makes for a radically different fan experience to a Premier League match. In Germany, there is the 50+1 rule, which means that fans must own a majority share of their football club. And while this is also true at St Pauli, this is a unique place and a unique club.
It's really special together because it's a gathering point where a lot of people who are thinking about football in different ways, and football as a means of anti-fascist political activism, but also football as a means of community, really come together, right? And so you'd see in a bar like the Jolly Roger, which is the main bar of St Pauli supporters, stickers from anywhere from Japan to Vancouver to the Philippines, right? It's this fascinating, expansive world of fan culture that you wouldn't otherwise find in other places. And because of the welcoming nature of a club like St Pauli, and because of its kind of global reputation, it brings together a lot of different environments and a lot of different communities who are trying to create a different idea of football into one condensed space.
Football is not something that exists outside of society, outside of culture. Sometimes you also hear people keep politics out of sport. I think that's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. Politics affects everything, and having a football club where that is part of the identity and the front and center, that you need to have a political opinion, make some statements, draw some clear lines. That's really important. I think if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be as invested in the club. Absolutely not.
Across the Atlantic, one team taking the messages of St Pauli to the English game are Dulwich Hamlet, who play at Champion Hill and are a club that puts inclusion at the forefront of its message. They also offer something different for a Premier League fan.
It's a much nicer touch than my usual day club, where there's a lot more social atmosphere and you can drink a pint by pitch side. What's not to like?
Dulwich play in the 6th division of English football, the National League South, and boast of attendances in the thousands regularly at their home games. At London's oldest ground, the Old Spotted Dog in East London, Clapton Community Football Club are offering a radical new alternative football scene. With only a £3 suggested donation on the door, the differences are clear to see as soon as you walk in. Born only in 2018 after a dispute with the owner of Clapton FC, today the fans here are proud to call the club their own. At Clapton, I spoke to Nick Davidson, the author of a book about St Pauli called Punks, Pirates and Politics, who is also a photographer at Clapton.
But we are trying to show that there is another way of doing football, that it is possible to have values, to have ideals, and for them to be as important as winning on the pitch. I mean, everybody wants to win on the pitch, but it's also important to kind of follow through on the kind of rhetoric that you have of being anti-sexist, being anti-racist. It's like, to be a space where we offer that and for people to come. I mean, I think most people here and most people at St Pauli, certainly English fans who have gone over, supported another club, and then they swapped to St Pauli because they were disillusioned or fed up with the world, the world of football and the values that are being kind of promoted, and they've gone, hang on, here's somewhere different.
And whether that difference is found here at Clapton, Dulwich or in London St Pauli, a new version of football is being fought for here in London. The fans here are showing that there is an alternative to being seen as just a consumer, and that your voice can be heard by doing things the St Pauli way.
I got it. You got it. Thanks.
Nobody knows.
Go. We can go now.
So, interview take one.
Right. Thank you very much. I think we're in the best. He went to get kicked in the garden anyway, so.
We're moving the goalposts. Don't worry.
Oh, there's a door open.